The Institute of Xenobiology and Biotechnics on Luna is one of the most respected institutions in the galaxy. Many of the greatest thinkers and innovators have studied or worked there, and it remains a place where species from across the stars come together to share knowledge. Humans, once seen as unusual, are now considered one of the most fascinating races. They evolved on a high-gravity world, and their physiology has been studied in detail. By standard measurement, Earth's gravity is 2.21 sg, while my own planet's is 1.98 sg since the Institute orbits Luna rather than sitting on the surface. Gravity inside can be adjusted by changing the station's rotation speed. It is kept at exactly 2 sg, which is comfortable for me and for most species, though humans live at the upper limit of that range. So why am I writing about something so obvious? Something every student learns in their first years of school. Because I discovered that I was wrong about how much gravity humans can tolerate. A few days ago, I attended a class on human physiology and morphology. Our professor, an Earthborn human, entered with a friendly smile. "Good day to all of you," he said. "My name is Richard Lesson and I will be your human studies professor for this cycle. Before we begin, I should let you know that I'll be away next week, so a substitute will fill in." He seemed approachable, and I was eager to learn. I already knew a little about humans from my own research. They are incredibly diverse in height, skin tone, and culture. Despite their differences, they are always recognizable as human, and what makes this even more remarkable is that all this variation comes from a single planet. Their genetic differences are minor, yet the visible distinctions are striking. Professor Richard began, "I'm sure you all know that humans come in many shapes and sizes." A few hundred students nodded. "Good. For our first lesson, we'll look at the different varieties of humans and how those differences developed. We'll focus mainly on Earthborn humans, since they still make up the majority of the population. I'm a good example myself." He gestured toward his own frame. Then, with a wave, he shifted the large whiteboard behind him into a star map. Here you can see human territory, including their colonies and holdings. At the center is Sol, our current location. This is where our journey begins. The map zoomed in, showing Earth itself. The display shifted to show Earth and Mars, along with images of two human pairs, male and female, for comparison. The professor explained that the main differences between Earthborn and Marsborn humans came from sunlight exposure and gravity. On Mars, gravity is far weaker than on Earth, about 62% less. In standard measurements, that comes to 0.83 sg. My eyes widened at this. Could that be right? I had never met a Martian human before, but I knew millions lived there. Surely the professor had made a mistake. I raised my hand. "Yes," he asked. "Sir, that can't be correct," I said. "A human couldn't survive long-term in such low gravity. Their bones would weaken, their muscles would waste away. And yet Mars is one of humanity's most populous worlds." The professor nodded. "You're right about the health issues. During the first centuries of colonization, those problems were severe. But over time the population adapted. Martian humans are now fully adjusted to their world." He pointed back to the display. "As you can see, Martian humans are taller and slimmer than those from Earth. They often have pale skin, and albinism is far more common because of the low sunlight during early colonization. Even though Mars is now terraformed and easier to live on, those adaptations remain. On average, a Martian male is about 2.2 meters tall but weighs only around 60 kilograms on Earth, roughly 23 kilograms in Martian gravity. Their bones are brittle, and their muscle mass is lighter. Visiting Earth is dangerous for them, so they must train for months beforehand. Even then, they rely on exoskeleton suits and medication to keep their hearts stable. Despite these challenges, the professor added, Martian humans have become some of the galaxy's finest scientists and engineers. I was stunned. Who would willingly settle on a planet so hostile to human life? I raised my hand again. "Why Mars, Professor? Why not choose a world more suited to your physiology? Surely early humans didn't have advanced terraforming technology. Wouldn't it have been wiser to wait for a planet closer to Earth's conditions?" For a moment, the professor simply stared at me. Then he gave a small smile. "Humans are ambitious. When the chance came, some decided to claim Mars and make it their home. If you're curious, there's plenty of literature on the history of early colonization. You might find it enlightening." He continued the lecture, describing other human colonies across space. For 30 minutes I barely heard a word. My thoughts were still fixed on the Martians and their rapid, unnatural evolution. It all seemed insane. Finally, he introduced the last group. The screen showed a dry, rocky world, with another pair of humans beneath it. These were shorter and stockier than any I had seen so far. "And here," the professor said, "we come to the Laconian humans, the rarest of all." The professor explained that Laconian humans only came into existence in the last 1,500 cycles, shaped by the harshest environment where humans can live without constant life support equipment. The planet itself, LX2563, or simply Laconia, is a dry, rocky exoplanet with only a small ocean at its northern pole, twice the size of Earth. It has an incredible gravity of 4.4 sg. I almost choked when I heard that. The entire class froze. most of us pale with shock except for the few humans present. No intelligent species had ever been known to survive on such a world. How could I have never heard of this before? The professor paused, clearly used to this reaction, before continuing. The average Laconian male stands about 1.4 meters tall and weighs around 120 kilograms on Earth, or nearly 240 kilograms on Laconia itself. Their muscles are far denser than those of Earthborn humans, and their bones are thicker and stronger. Even their hearts are about 45% larger. These adaptations give them incredible strength. The classroom fell into uneasy silence. My mind screamed the question before I could stop myself. How did the first colonists survive there? Not many did, the professor admitted, but hardship accelerates evolution. The Laconians are the result, he went on. They are powerful but not fast. Their mobility and stamina are limited, which is why they often work as miners, machinists, and shipbuilders' roles, where strength is more important than speed. When they visit Earth, they must wear special suits weighted with up to 150 kilograms of lead plates to simulate their home gravity. Without this, their muscles weaken and their bones quickly degrade. They also train in cardio to keep their hearts healthy while away from Laconia. I could hardly believe what I was hearing. The pictures on the screen left no doubt they were real. From the back of the room, a student asked, "Are there other differences between Laconians and Earth humans?" The professor smiled faintly. "Plenty, but we'll go over those later. For now, let me put it simply. A Laconian can bench press 300 kilograms without effort and could flip a 2-ton car if they wanted to." He chuckled, but I was too stunned to laugh. As a fun fact, he added, Martian humans are often compared to Elves Dwarves, pale, graceful. Laconians, on the other hand, are likened to dwarves, short, immensely strong, and ingenious. Myths brought to life, wouldn't you say? The bell rang, and I rushed to gather my things. Just as I reached the door, the professor called out one last detail. "Oh, and next week's substitute will be Professor Markrilla, native-born Laconian. Brilliant man." I swallowed hard. By the gods, have mercy on me and my classmates, I thought as I left the room.